So the Castlevania series has been out for a couple days now. We recently binged the whole thing, and we're here to share our thoughts on it.
Binge isn't a very good word because it's
Oh,
only 4 episodes, and each episode's not very long.
no, but still, we watched the whole thing in one sitting.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yep. So it's only one. It's a little.
It's not very long.
Yeah, it's a little under 2 hours long. 24, 26 minutes per episode, and there's only four of them. Yeah, it's easy to get through in a day. So if you haven't watched it yet, you have no excuse.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless you don't have Netflix.
Oh yeah, that's an excuse. Just find a friend who has Netflix. Yep. So we're gonna pretty much talk about what we liked, what we didn't like. Spoilers are going to kind of be in here, but I'm going to be honest with you. There's not really much to spoil.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. So I guess we'll start with what we did like. I think the voice acting was pretty dang good. Richard Armitage, Graham McTavish. Those names should be familiar because they were both in The Hobbit.
Yeah. When I was watching it, I was like, man, he sounds super familiar. And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, it's Thorin Oakenshield.
Yeah, and then that one dwarf that was angry all the time.
Yeah.
That's who voiced Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
I forget his name.
Yeah, I think if there was one voice actor I'd complain about, it would be Sypha. Which, I mean, the only reason I have complaints is because I think her accent's weird.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be Spanish.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm
Like
sure
all
it's
of them.
super accurate. But I was kind of...
Yeah. Then, as far as other things, the art style I found to be pretty decent.
Yeah, I did like. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of anime art style, but they really did. They kept it very Western. I mean, there wasn't anyone with big crazy hairstyles or anything.
Yeah. I guess I didn't really notice this until like someone pointed it out, but it's kind of trying to emulate the art style used by Yami Kojima, who was the artist for Symphony of the Night and then Area of Sorrow. A lot of the Metroidvania, Castlevania games, so not quite the classic artwork from the NES days.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
So that's more of like a higher quality manga style. I forget the actual term for it, but pretty good art style. Animation's pretty good in certain parts, like with fire.
Certain parts.
Yeah. We'll kind of get to that later, but like anything with fire looks pretty dang awesome. That's really all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, like when there's the different like backgrounds and stuff look really good.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more on that.
Yep. And then as far as story goes, it's pretty dang faithful to Castlevania 3 and Symphony of the Night, as much as they can be.
Yeah, I would say the big difference between this and the original stuff is that in this, Trevor is just going after Dracula for himself, which in the original game he was hired by the church.
Yeah.
Which it made it really look like they were going to do that in the third episode. When they bring him to the church, I was like, oh, this is where the church hires him to kill Dracula, but...
Well, I mean, the weird thing about that is that, like one thing that I hope people realize, and I don't know if the writers do or not, but being that far east, that would be the Orthodox Church.
Yeah,
And
I've heard a lot of people talking about, like, oh, it's the Catholics, but I'm like, I don't think it technically is.
So yeah, like in the original game story, I don't know if it's supposed to be the Orthodox guys that hire him or the Catholics, because I mean like in the story they use the word church very vaguely. I mean that typically means the Catholic Church, but
yeah,
I don't know.
And I guess technically the speakers kind of hire him, don't they? So maybe they're just doing it with that.
Yeah. But everything else, like Lisa's death, which I don't think that was a part of Castlevania 3. It's definitely a part of Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
That like that inciting Alucard's reason to like rebel against his dad, or it's like say, oh, the humans are worth saving.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this crap. That was in there. Then them finding him in a underground tomb. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff accurate to this. Like how they like the electricity inside Dracula's castle and like the big gears and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they did a good job with it.
Yeah. Now to kind of go on to cons. First of like this is the one that we kind of got oh, what's a word for it?
A little upset.
Yeah, a little upset, but like I don't know, but yeah, upset I guess is a good word. There's no Grant.
Yeah, Grant is not in this. There's no pirates in
Yeah.
the video where we're talking about what we thought was going to be in the movie, because I mean they had the scene in the trailer that looked like it was showing all 4 characters.
Yeah.
But it just showed Trevor twice.
Yeah, Trevor with knives, and it's like, oh, that's Grant because he's the guy with the knives. But nope.
Nope.
But I don't know. Like
they could bring him in the next season, because I mean they don't really accomplish anything in this season.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they will.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of messing up with the order of it, because technically he's the first guy that you can find, I think.
Yeah.
Or it's either him or Sypha, like one or the other. So I guess they're just flip flopping that around. I don't know. Because that clock tower.
Yeah,
where you first
off
find
like
him.
the first 2 episodes, I thought that each episode was going to be focused around one of the characters. I mean, the one was about Dracula, the other was about Trevor, but no, there was no pirates.
Yep. But one thing that I kind of want to go back to that like rewatch the first episode for that I didn't really notice, like Dracula when he's releasing his minions, he's naming off names of like houses in Wallachia, and one of them historically is Danishti, I think is how you pronounce them, which is supposed to be Grant's family.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think he might show up later, but I don't know if his name was named off. And I don't even know if the Belmonts were mentioned, because they're like treated as a big house too. But I
It's at least an Easter egg.
yeah. Then I guess we've kind of hinted at this, but the story doesn't feel complete. I mean, it's only 4 episodes.
I really hate this in TV shows where the whole first season is just setting up for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And this one just felt like exposition on top of exposition. Like, the first episode, I mean, I really liked it. It made a lot of sense just to tell Dracula's story so you understand why he's evil. But I mean, like, in the 3rd episode, they explain what happens in the 2nd episode. And all they did in the 2nd episode was explain what's happening in the show. It was just so much exposition. And that's why I usually don't like watching the first season of TV shows, because I'm like, it's just going to be a bunch of stuff trying to set up for the next season.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there were only like 4 or 5 fights total.
Yeah.
The whole thing, they're not really that long or drawn out, except maybe the one with Alucard, but nah, not really. I don't know. But yeah, it's like a metric crap ton of exposition, not much action, which is kind of irritating.
Yeah.
Now to go on to the animation, and oh boy.
Boy.
I know I said like, oh, the art style's pretty dang good.
Like, if you like take a picture of like any scene from this, it looks awesome. But there were so many scenes where like the animation was just so choppy.
Yeah. Like, I guess that's where it's inspirations in anime are really showing, like that really, trying to get it out quickly, be cost effective. But yeah, like when they're walking, sometimes it's just them bobbing up and down.
There's so many scenes that'll just be like still, and it's just their eyes and their mouths are moving.
Yeah.
And then also when they're inside the house with the speakers, there's only 2 speakers that have any animations. It's the old bald guy, and there's some guy with a brown beard. And if you notice, those are the only 2 that did anything. I'm like, are all the rest mute or something? And then the scene that stuck out the most to me is when Trevor and Alucard are fighting. And in one of the scenes, Sypha is like watching them, and she's moving at like a totally different frame rate. It's like they're back there just like lagging. It was just like, ooh, that did not look good.
Yeah. Let's see. We're gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see. As far as the writing goes, I mean, it was good, but the one thing that I have to like say was, not handled well was the humor. It's like it is very, very hit or miss, and big emphasis.
I think we were laughing more when they had like a stupid line, like when the demon dog is like, "Oh, let me kiss you." Like we were dying.
Yeah.
But like there's like other jokes. There's one joke where I was laughing just because it wasn't funny, and it just felt so tagged in there.
Yeah.
So I mean the jokes. I think there's one good joke at the end, kind of, but the jokes are not. Which I mean, it's Castlevania. You don't expect it to be funny.
Well, I mean, not intentionally.
Yeah, not intentionally funny, at least.
Yeah.
I think another thing is I think it had a bit too much content. And there's nothing wrong with stuff having content, but when like the TV show has more content, like I mean mature content than the games do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean I just feel like if you do a game movie adaptation, you should try to stay faithful in all aspects, including the content. I mean, there's still like a bit of blood in the Castlevania games.
Yeah.
But there's not that much swearing, and to be honest, there still even wasn't really that much swearing.
Yeah. I mean, like
it wasn't like Call of Duty World at War where they're just shouting F-bombs everywhere.
Yeah. Then as far as like the violence goes, we kind of, we should have seen that coming because like the producer Adi Shankar, or whatever his name
he's
is,
into
like,
violence and stuff like that.
He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be R-rated as F."
Yeah, and it didn't really add much to it. I mean,
yeah,
there's only like really like one or two scenes that have a lot of gore in it.
Yep.
So I mean, like, it's not necessarily needed.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that was a common criticism I noticed. Like, it's there, but it's not really like doing anything for them.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I know. Like going in, he said that he wanted it to be like Game of Thrones, and I'm actually glad that this is how it was like that.
Yeah.
Instead of,
The whole time I was afraid there's going to be like a whole bunch of nudity or something show up.
Yeah, like the first episode where Lisa comes in and meets Dracula.
Yeah. I'm glad it did not go that route.
Get to see them make Alucard.
Oh, I did not want to see that. Oh, man.
This is how a half vampire.
But here's the thing, like, does a Castlevania TV show need to be like R-rated?
No.
I mean, I think they're just like throwing this content because like, oh, this is for adults. It's bad. But I'm like, why? I mean, you're getting just as much out of this as like the kids watching it, I feel like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know though. Pretty much any game that wasn't released for like a handheld was like on a actual console that ended up being rated M, but it wasn't anything like super gory.
Yeah.
Maybe the Lords of Shadow games were a little bit more darker, but I mean, those are kind of, away from the original. So I mean, I wouldn't really throw them in there. Like, I mean, the only like major console Castlevania game that I played was Lament of Innocence. That was rated M, but it wasn't like a very, very super gory game. And that was like the first one that came out for PS2.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know much about games, the rating M is like dumb because it can mean a little bit of blood or it can mean like everything.
Yeah, it's like that one. I'm not entirely sure why it's rated M. I mean, there's no swearing. It's a Castlevania game, and then I don't know. I guess it was just maybe it's the context of it being vampires. I don't know. We're getting sidetracked.
Yeah, we're getting so sidetracked.
Okay. Here is a very, very big thing. I know I'm sounding like I'm just coming up with these off the top of my head. I got a little list here, but no classic music.
Yeah, which I mean, I kind of expected, but like the music that was in it wasn't even really trying to be like it. I mean, besides, I think when Dracula's Castle shows up, it starts playing some creepy organ music.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I didn't even notice if it was playing music,
Yeah, I honestly cannot remember any specific tune or there even being music in general, except for the opening thing, which was pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it was.
Like, okay, that add in the good animation art style thing. But I'm surprised, but I honestly think that might have been a licensing issue.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, because
it's hard enough getting the dang Castlevania license from Konami to begin with, but then music is a whole nother ballpark from what I know. Even when it's not your typical radio music, it's like anything that But yeah.
I think it'd be really cool. I think I might do this. It's just like take some clips from the movie and play the classic track. Play the classic tracks in some of the fight scenes to see how it turns out.
Yeah.
And I'll email it to Adi Shankar and tell him that.
Yeah. But should we do like a quick like plot synopsis? I mean, we probably should have done this at the beginning, but
yeah, sure.
Okay.
I have no issues.
So yeah, pretty much. I guess we could rearrange it, but
yeah, it tells Dracula's origin story in the first episode.
Well, not really his origin story. It's just here's I guess how it kind of goes. Like the first episode, Lisa, who's this doctor from a nearby village, goes up to Dracula's castle to kind of like, I don't remember, but she meets him. He's like, "Oh, you're not afraid of me." I guess that's cool. And then I guess he's kind of sees that she's, inspired by science, wants to help people. Then it shoots like, I don't know, 10, 20 years later.
I think it even might be less than that. I guess it has to be because Alucard's there.
Yeah. So 20 years later, he's getting burned at the stake by the church for witchcraft. But when it was
a very big cliche of someone with science being accused of being a witch. I don't know how much that was actually common.
Yeah, but I mean, it's faith as far as like things go. That's how she died in the Symphony of the Night. So yeah, she was just trying to help people out, being by being a doctor. Dracula comes back. He was traveling around by foot for some stupid reason.
I think what it was supposed to be was that he became immortal in that time span. Because if you notice, when she first goes to the castle, he's doing all this like wispy teleporting and stuff. But when that happens, he's just walking around. And he talks about walking like a man and being slow and stuff.
I guess he's trying to be a man.
Yeah.
More like a man, less like a friggin' monster. But he finds his house like burned, and then the lady's like, "Oh yeah, the church took her," and then then Dracula goes mad. He's like, "Oh, I need to kill them." And then,
I'll kill them. I'll kill them all.
Yep. And then Lisa cuts to Lisa like completely burned. That's pretty nice. And then
Dracula comes out as a weird
like fire
De La Muerte skull face.
Yeah. Then everybody's like, "Oh, it's Satan."
It's Satan. He's like, "I'm not Satan."
Yeah, it's like in 1 year if
you don't fix up the church.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, pretty much. Something
yeah,
along
that's
those
basically
lines.
what he says.
Yeah. And then a year comes back, and then they all they're like, "Oh,
we're so smart." Oh wait, it's raining blood.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're everything's good." And then Dracula rains hell on them.
It's like a Slayer song.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, you're mocking me. You're celebrating the day you killed my wife," and then he murders them all. Murders the freaking archbishop. Stuff
One
like
thing.
that.
Here's another con I have is that when his like armies from hell show up, that it's only like the little flying demons and one demon dog. I was expecting to see a lot more like the classic enemies, like the skeletons and stuff.
That might be when they actually get to the castle, though.
Probably, but still, I would have liked to see more enemies like that as opposed to just the basic little demons. I just didn't want to see any flying Medusa heads because I'm tired of those.
So yeah, I guess that does help visualize how like Dracula messed people up, like in the backstory of Castlevania 3. It's like, Europe's being ravaged, but and then they actually show it. It's like, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, he really messed them up. But let's see where we were going. Okay, so then it like cuts to what's his name, Trevor Belmont in a bar, and there's some guys talking crap about his family. Yeah. Gets into a bar fight.
This part was pretty entertaining because I was expecting it like to be the scene where it turns out that he's the super tough guy and he just beats them all up. That's not what happens. He just gets beat up.
I mean, it doesn't help that he's drunk.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's going to show that he can kick butt while he's drunk, but no, he doesn't. So I enjoyed that a lot. That was a nice twist.
Yeah. And then, he gets out of the bar. Second episode, he finds this town that Dracula's forces have completely, like, screwed.
Yeah.
It's like heads on stakes and
babies getting eaten and stuff.
Yeah, entrails being used as like ribbons.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I didn't even notice that until I saw them like taking them down. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's some Doom level crap there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so he goes there and then he finds out about these people called the Speakers, who the church are kind of like saying, "Oh, don't trust these people; they're not helpful."
Yeah.
And he saves one from a couple of corrupt priests that are about to beat him for being.
Yeah, see, that was another issue I kind of felt I had, was that I get that in the old days the church was really corrupt, but like it seems like in every movie there's like these monks that are like jumping old men in alleyways and stuff, and I don't think it was like that for the most part.
Probably not that. I mean, not like on a physical level, probably more on the like just being lax or something. I don't know.
I just felt like they could have done a bit more with showing that the church wasn't all corrupt, which they kind of do at the end, how there's the priest that makes the holy water.
Someone who was actually ordained.
Yeah, the one who's actually ordained.
But yeah, okay, so yeah, he meets up with Speakers, and then the guy he saves, like, oh, my one of my people.
We have an intruder.
Yep, a dog. Go away. But he's like, oh, one of my people
have him upstairs.
No, that's fine.
All right.
One of my people have they went into the catacombs or whatever, looking for this sleeping soldier that protects the city or something.
So then, like,
find them.
I think that should take 1 minute. It takes the whole episode of just them talking about how he's gonna go get the person for him.
Yeah, and he was like, please leave or they'll kill you, or they were gonna kill him anyway. I don't remember.
I was like, please leave so I don't kill myself because I want to see some more action.
So yeah, he goes down there, finds a statue of Sypha, and then the Cyclops comes out. It's like, and it has freaking laser beams, which is weird.
Did they have laser beams in the game?
No, I didn't have laser beams in the game. He has a hammer in the game.
Oh, okay. So that was one thing they put in the game, in the show that was from the game.
Or no, it wasn't.
It wasn't in the game?
You didn't have lasers in the game.
No, I was talking about the Cyclops.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, then he fights him, it's like, I think how he kills him, he like throws a knife out and then he whips it right into his eye. Like, he hits the handle with his whip and it goes straight into its
this
eye.
show has some really cool like whip fighting action, which made me really happy.
Yeah.
But he stabbed in the eyeball. That wouldn't kill it. It didn't hit the brain.
That's good enough.
Yeah, that's good enough. I don't want to get sidetracked again.
Yeah. So then Sypha is like, not stoned anymore. He's like, oh, you're a girl. That's weird.
Yeah.
Which another thing that kind of ties into the game, because Sypha's pretending to be a man for some reason, to the point where they don't reveal that she's a woman until the end of the game.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
So it's like Metroid?
Yeah, kind of like that. Huh. Like they refer to her as a he in the game, and then in the manual too.
Is it just like a bug in like text, or is it on purpose?
Oh, it was on purpose.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, then he takes her back to the other Speakers, and they're a bunch more exposition bullcrap, and then
the church shows up to kill him. Actually, no. Before that, they take Simon Belmont. They're like, "Oh, you should leave." Trevor, my bad. Trevor Belmont. They're like, "You should leave, or we're gonna kill you." So he gets the Speakers to leave, but he stays there, and he has like a little bit of a fight with him. I think that's how the episode ends, isn't it? With him fighting the church. He kills the guy with the arrow and stuff.
No, they before that they take him to the bishop.
Oh yeah, they take him to the bishop.
Yeah, they take him to the bishop, and I don't remember what happened much. And then
more exposition.
He's like, "Oh, you should take me to somebody higher up," and he's like, "Oh, I am the highest right now." And then like he goes back to the Speakers or something, and then night falls. And
that starts episode 4, where the demons show up at the town.
Yeah. So like one of them shows up to the church where the archbishop was, and he thought it was like a guy who was coming back after killing the Speakers, but it's this big frickin' warg looking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, your God is not here.
I did enjoy that, how like they didn't just like straight out say like, oh, God doesn't love you. He said that you're not following God, so God's not going to help you.
He's like, we love you.
Yeah.
Let me kiss you.
Let me kiss you. Weirdest line ever.
Then he eats his frickin' head.
Yeah.
And then, meanwhile, back at the speaker, whatever you want to call that little shack thing.
House.
So yeah,
Sypha and
they go. He makes them go into the catacombs.
Yeah, he makes the speakers go to the catacombs.
And then the priests find that it's just Trevor, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna kill you." And then he
ends up helping, and him and Sypha comes back, and they start fighting the demons. And that part's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like first they get the friggin' townspeople to rebel against all the corrupt priests.
Yeah.
And then a lot more demons show up for the first time, I forget.
Yeah.
And then for that night, and then it's like, you know what, I'm going to show you how to fight these guys, and then
you start pouring holy water, holy ice.
Yeah.
And that part was pretty cool. I like that part a lot.
Yeah.
So then they go into the catacombs after they teach the villagers how to defend themselves.
I think there's like a hole that opened up in the ground or something. They fall down.
Yeah.
And then find Alucard.
Yeah, which the speakers believe that Alucard was some kind of like stone warrior or something.
Sleeping soldier
that was going to protect them.
Then it's like, Trevor's like, oh, he's a freaking vampire.
He's a vampire. I kill vampires. It's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill his ass.
There's too much testosterone in this room.
Yeah. So yeah, they fight, him and Alucard and Trevor, and then Sypha's just kind of there in the background.
Yeah. It's pretty... Oh, it was a pretty entertaining fight. Just the animation...
Yeah, and then...
made parts of it bad.
Then it ends like Alucard's about to finish off Trevor, and Trevor's about to finish off Alucard. Then Sypha gets behind Alucard's like, hey, you touch his neck, I fry your head.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, good, this is a test.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go kill Dracula, and then it ends.
Yeah, well, he puts on the costume from Symphony of the Night, which was pretty cool to see him in that.
Yeah.
And they're like, sweet, the team's all assembled, well, except for Grant.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's only 4 episodes, each one's 24 minutes long.
Go away, dog. But yep, so it's rather short, definitely sets up for the next season, which is going to be longer. It's going to be 10 episodes.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah, hopefully they get more.
When is it coming out? Do you know?
It said 2018, but
2018?
not a specific month or date.
They should release them around October for Halloween.
That'd be freaking cool.
Very Halloweenish.
Oh dang! But I wouldn't want to wait.
Oh no, I don't want to wait that long either. I want to wait till this Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty good overall. I mean, it's not the best thing I've ever seen, but I've
seen a lot of overhyped reviews just from fanboys.
Yeah, but it
from actual fans, well, like one kind of fan and one super fan.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's promising, I guess, is the best thing to say about it. I think they'll make good on it in the next season.
Yeah, and I don't think they will ever venture into the other universes. I think they're just going to mainly stick with Castlevania 3's storyline.
No, I mean, it's a little early to tell right now.
Yeah, it's literally to tell, but I would expect the next at least 2 seasons just to be about Castlevania 3.
Yep. So, yep, that is our review / random...
summary, everything, podcast.
Yep. Enjoy the extended cut.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Now let's try to be a gentleman about this. Don't use your bar fighting tricks on me.
Yeah. Don't punch me in the nuts while my G strings are already cutting off circulation. To
that was the one joke I thought was actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Which is sad because it's a groin joke, but
it's a little below the belt, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we need to end this here. It's
it's
almost a friggin' half hour. Alrighty, but yep. Tell us what you think, and this is us signing off.